Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. So this video is going to be some basic 2v2 arena tips slash commentary. These games weren't originally intended to be any sort of instructional content, so I'm definitely not playing the top of my game. These are just some 2s I did over on EU and then later on the US. But I realized I haven't really made an arena commentary in a while, and those videos are actually some of my favorite videos to do. So we're going to take a look at these 2s matches, walk through them, and see some of the good things we did that led to easy wins or really strong pressure, and then maybe some of the mistakes that we made that led to, some rough times and perhaps some close calls. So anyway, this match is on the EU, and we're fighting a Shadow Priest Frost Mage, and we're playing a Resto Shaman Arms Warrior. This is historically a pretty scary comp to face because of the amount of CC they can put out on you and your healer. I mean, conceivably they can have both of you in full CCs with dots rolling and huge shatters coming on both of you guys, so it's pretty scary. Right now, my objective against this particular team is to hit the Shadow Priest pretty hard because he's almost even like a healer, although if left alone he'll do a ton of damage. So if I try to hit the Frost Mage, the Shadow Priest will just heal him up while dotting me up. And if I hit the Shadow Priest, the Mage, he's controllable. We can shear and heroic throw silence, even though today 5.1 comes out, so that's no longer a thing, but you can still find ways to control the Mage while hitting the Shadow Priest with your fears and your spell reflects. One of the things that you have to watch out for is one thing is Frost Bomb. I'm trying to reflect these Frost Bombs, but since I am on EU, my latency is a little bit more than I'm used to on US. Still huge, like very playable. It's only like 140, so nothing to complain about. Just I gotta get used to it a little bit. But one of the things you want to reflect is Frost Bomb. Another thing you want to reflect is Polymorph. And you'll see this Mage, once I start putting out pressure, this Mage will begin to spam Polymorph on me. And earlier on in the match, it wasn't something I was like really used to doing, is reflecting the Polymorph, so I just didn't really bother with it. I was just like, I'll be fine, it'll get dispelled. But if you want to be playing on your absolute top of your game, and if you're trying to, be successful at high ratings, these are the sort of things that you do want to get in the practice of doing, even in just relaxed 2s matches like these. So, the Shadow Priest, he manages to stay low a lot of the match because, one, he can heal, two, they have so much peels for him that it's kind of hard to land a kill unless you do something like this, where I get out of the Polymorph and reflect his Polymorph. So now he's in a full CC. He traded basically the chance to get me in about like a 2-second Polymorph, and he ends up eating a full Polymorph, which he ice blocks. So the Mage can afford to sort of ice block like that. He's like a trinket if he wants to, but you getting your 30-second spell reflect on his Polymorph cast is definitely worth an ice block out of him. Not necessarily that you're going to want to hit him out of that ice block because, like I said, the Shadow Priest can heal him up while you're just getting Novad or Polymorphed, anything like that. But I'm just going to ride this Shadow Priest, try to stop whatever sort of damage or CC I can. I reflect another Polymorph there. I actually Polymorphed him recently enough that it's on DR, but it doesn't really matter. He ice blocks it. I'm able to get the kill on the Shadow Priest because I did reflect those sheeps. So, just in review, my strategy against the Shadow Priest Frost Mage is generally to ride that Shadow Priest, Hex, Polymorph, reflect, silence, shear that Mage, keep the damage from the Mage under control, and you should be fine. Alright, against this team, Mage, Rogue, I'm going to charge in and shockwave both of them, and then I'm going to get a trinket out of the Mage, so the Mage is going to get a full fear from me, the Rogue is going to will the Forsaken my fear, so I'm going to disarm him. So, that's a huge disruption of their opener. Really good job of getting both trinkets out of them, so they're going to have a little bit rougher of a time surviving me. I make the mistake of trinketing right into another Polymorph that time, but it's all good. I'm going to get blinded, and I have to set the full blind because I have no trinket, but the Mage is pretty low, already out of an ice block, already out of a trinket, so I'm going to start hitting the Rogue. Rogue, he can't kite me quite as well as the Mage, and they're pretty squishy at this point, so I'm going to charge back through the ring, just try to stop some damage on the Rogue. Hopefully I can get a dispel, but Shaman has to link here, but honestly, they're both really low, so I think we're going to be alright. I could conceivably even 2v1 at this point. Hopefully. You never know. Mage is going to block. I'm not going to shadow this one. Don't have any rage. I'm going to go after the Rogue. If the Mage wants to CC himself by sitting in his ice block, that's absolutely fine with me. He's not going to get any healing, just sit up there by himself, so I'm just going to chase this Rogue. I do get Polymorphed here. Get dispelled out of the Polymorph. Going to heroic leap around the corner, try to keep the Rogue in combat. He is pretty speedy, but I'm trying to piercing howl him. I get gouged. No big deal. I'm going to fear him around the corner because that works. I'm going to try to intervene real fast away from that Ring of Frost so I don't get stuck on that to keep more damage on the Rogue and to make sure at least to keep a bleed up on him so he doesn't just vanish away. I do reflect this Polymorph. The Mage is going to ice block it, but it's a little bit too late. good reaction time on the reflect. Speaking of good reaction time on the reflex, I'm going to reflect this Pharaoh's instant clone and kind of dance around him a little bit. I don't really want to hit the Paladin all that much, but I'll keep damage up, maybe switch the Sacred Shield a little bit. Obviously, you can see this is on my Dark Spear Warrior. This is before my tier 2 weapon, though, so I'll be hitting a lot harder back now than I would at this point. So I'm going to get Repentance. I did try to reflect it, but I didn't have a reflect because I reflected too recently. But good thinking, I guess. So I'm going to hit the Pharaoh here. Poisty, the Shaman, does stun him with his Capacitor stun totem. I'm going to hit the Paladin just for a second. I'm going to fear, and I do believe that I feared the Pharaoh, so he's going to trinket now. So at this point, we've got an excellent opportunity to put some pressure out on this Pharaoh. The Paladin's sitting behind the pillar, which is, you know, a good thing to do because it prevents CC on him, but I'm going to get the Pharaoh into Shockwave, the Paladin's going to get hexed, and then all Poisty has to do now, if you can look right now, he just Frost Novas the Paladin, LOS, right there. Frost Nova the Paladin, so he can't even heal the Pharaoh. Pharaoh gets chopped, and we win. So, a lot of times you can play twos matches pretty skillfully, and those are the ones where it's really, really fun. However, there are some times where it's just, all you can do is shake your head and say, that's twos. And these are some of those games. I think the introduction of the Taste for Blood mechanic is the cause of a lot of those sort of just shake your head, that's twos matches. But you'll see here. We do get the Shaman in a Hex, so I'm able to build some pressure off of that. Poisty drops his Storm Lash Totem, whatever the hell that is. And I get a couple stacks Taste for Blood and one-shot the Warrior, so that was pretty cool. This is a pretty derpy game by me. I'm going to charge on the Paladin. I get opened on by the Pharaoh. I think I might try to fear out of this, try to get a fear on the Paladin, but instead, just kind of go, Paladin LOSs me, so I'm going to start hitting the Pharaoh. We haven't really gotten any CC out on the Paladin yet, but I'm doing pretty good damage to the Pharaoh. I'm going to charge and fear the Paladin, which he's going to trinket. This time I pop my cooldowns, fall off the edge, jump up, and still manage to kill the Pharaoh, so that was pretty silly. Alright, this last game was over on the European servers. I didn't fraps this one, so this is a little bit worse quality because it's from the stream. So I fear the Pharaoh and his Monk healer. Chase the Pharaoh around. Monk's getting plenty of healing on him. I'm going to try to silence the Monk to get a little bit more damage on this Pharaoh. Doing pretty good damage, surprisingly. I did have a tier 1 weapon at this point, so that's pretty exciting. So I pop my Die by the Sword because I'm getting kind of low. The Pharaoh's going to clone me, and he comes over here and dances on me. That's a huge mistake. Because you don't really want to make an Orc Warrior mad, and dancing in front of him while he's in a Cyclone is probably going to induce some rage. So the PvP gods smile upon me for that great injustice this Pharaoh did to me. So as you can see above my character frame, I have a add-on called a Nelga Combo Bar, and that tracks my Taste for Blood stacks. And here pretty soon you're going to see them start to stack up to a very, very frightening level. Don't really give a fuck what the Monk's doing at this point because I can feel the rage. I can feel the gods smiling down upon me. 3 stack, a couple more overpowers. This Pharaoh, I'm like, hey, keep dodging, man, keep dodging. Monk's trying to heal through it. 4 stack. He's soothing Mystic as best he can. I fear him. And one-shot the Pharaoh. So I'm gonna return the favor with Wreck Up. I'm just gonna give him a little recklessness dance on top of him, and of course have a good little giggle myself. That was pretty funny. So anyway, that's all I've got for you from these twos matches right now. Probably ought to wrap some more and make some more of these commentaries for you because that's definitely one of my favorite things to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look forward to more arena commentaries in the future, and thanks for watching. All right, guys, peace.